In our headlines this morning, Governor Obiano promises to address infrastructural deficit at Nwafọ College of Education in Nsugbe. Awka residents to experience improved power supply as EEDC installs new 15 MVA at Agwoka substation. Niger Delta ex-militant hails federal government over prompt payment of stipends. Australia issues red alert over severe tropical cyclone Veronica. Good morning and welcome to the news. My name is Nonye Wokoye. Governor Willie Obiano says his administration will effect more remarkable improvement in the education sector of the state within its remaining years. The governor was speaking during the 22nd and 38th matriculation ceremonies for first-degree students and for Nigeria Certificate in Education (NCE) of the Nwafọ College of Education in Nsugbe. Our correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo was there for the ABS, and this report is taken from the studio.
The ceremony, which was held at the institution's premises, had in attendance the matriculants, academics from within and outside the school, as well as families and friends of the newly admitted students who came to celebrate with their own. The governor, who spoke through the Anambra State Commissioner for Tertiary and Science Education, Professor Teresa Obiekeze, said his government will continue to handle issues concerning education in the state with high sense of responsibility, as according to him, education remains the best tool for reshaping the society for good. Advising the new students to prioritize their studies over every other thing, the governor assured that government will address the infrastructural and other challenges presently facing the institution.
Having gone through your secondary skills, and you are here today to move on into the tertiary world, he said I should tell you to feel at home and to tell you that Anambra State is safe for everything that you are doing. You shouldn't be afraid of anything. The security is assured.
In his speech, the Vice-Chancellor of University of Nigeria, Nsukka, Professor Benjamin Ozumba, represented by the Dean, Faculty of Education of the institution, Professor Dominic Ngwoke, encouraged the students to avoid bad company and be conscious of their behavior and dreams as future leaders, assuring them that the institution will continue to strictly adhere to the core values, which he said are built around integrity, accountability, and transparency.
Your dreams for a bright academic future have come to fruition. The ceremony further sets the pace for such candidates to be qualified to register for their various courses of study in pursuit of their academic goals.
Earlier in her address, the Provost Nwafọ College of Education in Nsugbe, Dr. Ifeyinwa Sebu, charged the students to endeavor to abide by the rules and regulations guiding the school, take their studies seriously, and ensure cultism, as the college has zero tolerance for such acts.
I warmly welcome all of you to the 38th matriculation ceremony of our highly esteemed institution, the first among equals, a center of teacher education par excellence, which promotes science, arts, vocational education for prospective teachers in our state.
Some of the matriculants that spoke to the ABS, including Mr. Basil Okoloyalarun from Economics Department and his chemistry counterpart, Ms. Ogochukwu Digwe, thanked God for their admission into the school and promised not to disappoint their families.
I'm very grateful to be a student of this school and to my parents who have sent me to find education or to acquire the education. I am promising them to my best ability. I will make them happy at the end.
We say congratulations to the matriculants. A World Bank-assisted Anambra State Education Program Investment Project, ANSEPIP, has commenced a 4-day training on difficult subject areas for mathematics teachers in the state. The first phase of the program is conducted by the Pan-African Community Initiative on Education and Health, past year under the umbrella of Ministry of Basic Education. Our education correspondent Theophilus Ukoha fired the report taken from her.
Declaring the workshop opened, Commissioner for Basic Education Professor Kate Omenawa said Anambra State government insists on having it right on teaching and learning of difficult subjects, helping teachers in the disadvantaged areas to be integrated into the objective of leaving no child behind. Professor Omenawa said a careful study of schools was made and came to conclusion that Otocha zone is lacking behind concerning making mastery of some core science subjects including mathematics, hence the reason the training was slated for disadvantaged areas.
Dr. Ulobiano is very passionate about demystifying mathematics for the children. He himself is a very good mathematician, and he told me that I should give him education that is very credible. And it's part of that credibility in education that we are trying to build the capacity of our teachers in mathematics. For them to go out there and know that teaching mathematics could be fun and learning mathematics could be fun.
Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Kene Enukora said drilling the teachers on how to teach students the core subject, especially mathematics, is their major focus, and is optimistic that at the end of the program, the teachers must have garnered enough to impact positively on the students. Mr. Enukora, who is the project coordinator, Anambra State Education Program Investment Project, ANSEPIB, assured that at the end of the workshop, there will be reasonable improvement on mathematics teachers' approach to teaching.
Identify that this is what they want to do, to build the capacity of teachers, like the Honorable Commissioner has said. So we are supporting the state. The World Bank is assisting the state in terms of financial support, technical support.
The lead consultant, Professor Uche Amazigo, said 8 trainers to drill 28 teachers in 4 days will bring meaningful results. Responding on behalf of the teachers, Mr. Anthony Aniwatara of Community Secondary School Omueri pledged to abide by all stipulated standards of teaching.
It's a way of showing that we are serious with this program and we know that it's going to be very successful. Teachers are performing and the students are becoming better every day. And we want to say a big thank you for that. It shows that the Commissioner is working.
Present at the opening ceremony includes Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Basic Education, Mr. Nwabweze Nwankwo, Administrative Secretary Asubeb, Mrs. Vivian Anya Adubalo, and other directors of the ministry.
Electricity consumers in Oka and environs will soon enjoy power supply 24 hours a day with the upcoming installation of a 15 MVA at Agoka substation. The Managing Director, Enugu Electricity Distribution Company, EEDC, Mr. Okenwosu, dropped the hint in Oka during a customers forum organized by EEDC for electricity consumers in Oka and environs. Correspondent Ngozi Obileri covered the event and now reports.
Addressing the gathering, the Managing Director, Mr. Nwosu, represented by Head of Security, Mr. Frank Ejofo, said that Oka residents will start enjoying steady power supply as soon as work in a new injection substation going on inside ABS premises is completed. According to Mr. Nwosu, when completed, the 7.5 MVA transformer presently at Agoka substation would be moved to ABS injection substation, giving way for the 15 MVA transformer newly procured by the company to boost power supply. He cautioned against vandalization of their property and assaulting staff of the company while discharging their duties, regretting that about 3 of their high-tension wires were vandalized at Abagana, a situation he said has thrown people of that area into darkness.
We have 2 massive construction going on in Oka districts of EEDC. One is at Agu Oka, where we want to install a 15 MVA transformer to serve our esteemed customers. As soon as that project is completed, I'm assuring you that people within this area, in fact, the electricity supply is ongoing. Like we said in this forum, we're likely to get the transformer in the next 2 weeks because we finished payment and they're just going to arrive and we'll start the installation immediately. Then we have another injection substation for 7.5 at ABS area. So going as well. The company had invested almost 200 million on this project, and as soon as these 2 major projects are completed, I'm assuring you that people in Oka district will be very happy for it. And of course, we are here to make them to be happy.
On his part, the head, Health, Safety and Environment, Engineer Francis Iwu, stressed the need for people to stop building under high-tension wires, describing it as suicidal, adding that they now have the authority to disconnect buildings under high tensions and would sue the owners for violation of power line rights of way.
Why are people encroaching? Why are people building under high-tension wires? You know the implication. You don't know. And you're building, encroaching under high-tension wire. Not approved by government. See the way we are now encroaching. If we are, see, you have a house, you will make an attachment. Gradually, you are coming into the road. Gradually, you are coming into the road. And the wires are there on top of your roof. People are dying. If you don't know that people are dying every time because of this violation of right of way.
The head of communication, EEDC, Mr. Mekeze, in a speech, explained that the company is currently carrying out enumeration exercise to know the number of consumers in every district because, according to him, the number of energy distributed is lesser than the number of consumers in Southeast. Mr. Eze called for prompt payment of bills by consumers to enable them import enough energy that will serve the people, adding that metering of consumers has now been regulated by Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission, who has devised meter asset provider as new means of metering, which will kick off soon.
The expression of interest we have already deployed. We've advertised. Companies that feel that they are competent enough to embark on this project have indicated interest, and we've zeroed down on the one that we feel will be able to deliver on this project, and we've recommended them to the regulator. All we're waiting for is the final approval and the dynamics of how it's going to work so that we'll begin to engage our customers. Definitely, customers will approach them and they pay for this meter.
Other speakers at the event, including Mrs. Ijoma Ogudebe, who is the manager, Customer Service, and Satoni Obi, who is the manager, Community Liaison, talked on various measures taken by EEDC to have personal relationship with the consumers and the need to channel their complaints to appropriate office, especially in the areas of billing and power supply, for immediate attention. Some of the consumers, including Mrs. Chidube Mwafo, Kasmia Agummadu, and Ozo Okonkwo, laid various complaints, including outrageous bills, faulty transformers, among others, and were cleared on how to tackle their issues. In Oka, I am Ngozi Obileri for ABS News.
Thank you so much, Ngozi. Moving on now, in line with the state government's initiative to have a crime-free state, a one-day sensitization workshop on crime prevention has been organized for the people of Ogelebu village, Okija, in Ihiala local government area. The workshop, which was organized by the Crime Prevention Campaign of Nigeria, CPCN, Anambra State Chapter, was held at Obiadiasos Compound, Okija. A correspondent, Emengeni Osadebe, filed this report taken from her.
Crime Prevention Campaign saw the official declaration of some Okija indigents who have been in the forefront of ensuring that the lives and property of Okija people are secured. In a welcome address, the Director, Crime Prevention Campaign of Nigeria, Anambra State Chapter, Honorable Chukwuemeka Mmadubueze, said the CPCN is a security support service organization committee supporting and working in collaboration with the Nigerian Police Force and other security agencies to bring about a crime-free society through intelligence gathering and crime sensitization programs. Honorable Mmadubueze, who traced the history of the organization to 1996, said the aim was to have crime prevention and community policing institutions in the country.
We are here to sensitize some members of Okija community, honor and correct some of the illustrious sons of Okija community in the persons of Chief Jerome E. Odidiaso, Barrister Felix Ugumadu, Chief Epunam Peter Celestin, Chief Anohu, as I mentioned before, show you them, and Chief Angus.
In his lecture, the area commander, Nigeria Police Force, Ihiala Area Command, who was represented by his second-in-command, CSP Uchenna Aniowo, stated that crime cannot be prevented without information gathering and dissemination, describing crime prevention as proactive measure that brings about community policing, as it is the duty of every community to feed the police with reliable information to help fight crime and criminality in their areas.
Crime rate here is very, very low due to the effort of police and other sister agencies. We are getting cooperation. Even like today, they pointed out some of the issues that have been making them not to cooperate with police in the area of giving out information.
On his part, the Unit Commander, Federal Road Safety Corps, Ihiala Unit Command, Assistant Corps Commander Danladi Idris, re-emphasized that reckless driving and invalid driver's licenses are crimes to the society, emphasizing the need to give the FRSC every necessary support for accident-free roads.
There are some security features embedded in the driver's license that tend to assist us in the prevention of crime. One, as a valid driver's license owner, definitely we expect that you must be a good citizen of Nigeria.
Question and answer series formed the high point of the workshop, while some illustrious sons of the community were decorated as members of the organization for their efforts towards achieving a crime-free Okija. In their responses, the recipients, High Chief Jerome Obidiaso, Barrister Felix Ugummado, and Chief Peter Epunam pledged to sustain the temple, adding that security is the sole responsibility of everyone for the good of their community.
The Archdeacon of Adaziani Archdeaconry and Vicar of St. Jude's Church, Adaziani, Venerable Christian Okafor, has called on Christians to live a righteous and holy life. Venerable Okafor stated this in a sermon in yesterday's church service, which has its theme as the way of the cross. Religious correspondent Amaka Chibuzo Okoye files this report.
Venerable Okafor said that cross signifies suffering and victory. Therefore, it is expected that everyone should journey with Christ at all times and look up to the cross for our crown. He stated that Christians are pilgrims here on earth and are bound to face persecutions, sufferings, tribulations, and problems, saying that in all this they will conquer as Christ conquered all.
Christians ought to live righteous life of holiness. You know, without holiness, no eyes can see the Lord. So even in this situation, not minding how rough the road is, we are called to live a holy and righteous life.
At St. Paul's Catholic Church, Agolo, the parish priest, Reverend Father Stephen Ugochukwu, in a homily during the Mass, said a true child of God should strive hard to be people of goodwill, as Christ, whom they emulate, is a perfect being, stating that they should repent from all their sins so as to bear fruits and draw men to Christ. Reverend Father Ugochukwu urged the parishioners to be useful for Christ at all moments of their lives, more especially during this Lenten season.
Then you just say you're going to Cabua, Agora, and you would now Ozi Campo, Paul Gasonica, the currents. If we Paul Gasonica now, I talk all over Fuma, even Mwenua, Moses Gates, catching this is most of the teaching.
The district pastor at the Grace of God Mission, Anosha District Headquarters, Agolo, Reverend Aloysius Moye, whose message centered on be ready for battle, lamented the revival of some demonic cultures and called on Christians to be at watch and pray at all times, and with persistence in prayers, they will conquer.
That they are ready for battle. This is why you can see many revival of cultures. They are reviving culture. That's demonic revival. It seems that Christians are sleeping, but I believe that if any boy, any man, any human being make himself available to God, God will use him.
Prayers were offered in all the churches to mark the third Sunday in Lent. Amaka Chibuzo Okoye, ABS News.
Ex-agitators of the Niger Delta region have hailed the federal government for the prompt payment of their monthly stipends. General Godstime Ogidiba, the coordinator of Phase 3 of the ex-Niger Delta Agitators Leadership Forum, gave the commendation in a statement in Benin. The coordinator said the forum had decided to confer an award of good leadership on Professor Charles Dokubo, the special advisor to President Muhammadu Buhari on Niger Delta and coordinator amnesty program. He said the recognition was informed by the prompt payment of monthly stipends and empowerment of Niger Delta youths, among other strides of Dokubo. Ogidiba said the group noted that the sanity now being enjoyed in Phase 2 of the amnesty program was commendable and urged the coordinator to sustain the stride. He expressed the commitment to continue to partner and support the positive efforts of the Amnesty Office to bring peace and development to the region. On business news, the federal government says it will gradually phase out the use of chemical fertilizers in agriculture to ensure the production of healthy foods for the people. Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development Chief Audu Ogbe stated this yesterday while inspecting the first organic banana plantation by an Indian company, Contech Global Agro Limited, in Kwale. Ogbe, who expressed worry over the increasing number of liver and kidney diseases among young people, explained that the objective was the elimination of dangerous elements from foods. He noted that the move would also help to reduce the damages in the soil through the application of fertilizers. Ogbe said the company was already conducting an experiment to develop microbes from the soil in the laboratory and putting them back into the soil without the use of chemicals. On the foreign scene, a red alert has been issued along Australia's Pilbara coast as severe tropical cyclone Veronica begins to make landfall. The center of the storm is currently located around 95 kilometers west of Port Hedland. It had slowed down on its approach and now looks like it may even stall there for a time. The cyclone's core has reached land and is over the coast just east of Reborn and west of Port Hedland. The center is forecast to remain near the coast for about 8 to 12 hours. Legendary Island reported a wind gust of 157 kilometers per hour yesterday before the storm. At the same time, Reborn recorded 139 kilometers per hour and Port Hedland 119 kilometers per hour. And on sports news, Vice President of the German Football League has spoken out against an alleged plan by Europe's top clubs to dramatically reform the UEFA Champions League. DFL boss Peter Peters said that the Bundesliga would have to defend itself in the wake of reports that Europe's top competition could be transformed by the introduction of weekend fixtures and a tiered system with relegation and promotion. The Wall Street Journal reported last week that UEFA and the European Clubs Association were to discuss reforms that would radically change the way European club football is structured. According to a further report in Bild this weekend, Juventus President Andrea Agnelli presented concrete proposals at a meeting of UEFA and the ECA in Nyon, Switzerland last Tuesday. Agnelli, who is also the current president of the ECA, is said to have outlined an explosive plan to bring all UEFA competitions into a coherent league system when the next Champions League cycle comes to an end in 2024. The plan would reportedly see the Champions League reorganized into 4 groups of 8 teams, with the top 4 of each group qualifying for a knockout round. Teams who finished bottom of their group would be relegated into a second tier, formed out of what is currently the Europa League. And now remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by logging onto our website www.absradiotv.com. Like us at www.facebook.com/ABSRadioTelevision. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at ABS Radio TV. And the main points of the news again. Governor Obiano has promised to address infrastructural deficit at Nwafor College of Education in Nsugbe. Oka residents is to experience improved power supply as EEDC installs new 15 MVA at Agoka substation. Niger Delta ex-militants have hailed the federal government over prompt payment of stipends. And from our foreign scene, Australia has issued a red alert over severe tropical cyclone Veronica. And that's the news for this morning. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Nonye Mokoye. Good morning.